we were looking at the basics of loops. We want to now look at how do we run a loop over numbers. If you want to run a loop over numbers, for this which we're going to use the for values loop. Now the basic loop command is going to take this form. So you will write for values because we want to use the for values loop. Then for values I is equal to a sequence of values. We'll look into this in detail what this means. And then we'll have the body of the loop using the I that we've defined. And then, with any sort of loop that you're running, we start with curly braces and we end with curly braces. Now here, like we mentioned, for values is a keyword because you want to use the for values loop in this case to run a loop over numbers. Now what is I? I is the name of a local macro that will be set to each number in the sequence. Right? So in the sequence, we're going to specify what values you want I to take, and the loop is going to run over those values, right? Sequence is a range of values which can now take one of two forms, right? So sequence is the range of values that you want I to take and run the loop over, and you can either specify it as minimum slash maximum. So in this case, you're specifying a sequence of numbers from minimum to maximum in steps one. So if I specify the sequence as 1 underscore 3, what this means is I'm telling I to take values from 1 to 3 in steps of 1. So I wanted to take values 1, 2, and 3. If I had specified the sequence to be 10 slash 15, so iska matlab so this means that I want I to take values uh, 10 to 15, right? So if we basically specify the sequence is 10 underscore 10 slash 15, then I want I to take values 10 to 15 in steps of one. So I wanted to take values 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So whenever you specify the sequence as minimum slash maximum, this means you want I to take values. You're indicating a sequence of numbers from the minimum value to the maximum value in steps of one. Another way that you can specify the sequence is in this form. First, the first value, then in brackets, you put the step size and then you put the last value. So this means I wanted to take values starting from the first value to the last value, but step does not necessarily have to be one. We'll specify the step size in the brackets. For example, if we write 15, 5, 50. So this means I wanted to take values starting from 15 to 15 steps of 5. So I wanted to take value 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. If I done 3, and would specify 2 here and would specify till 10. So this means I wanted to take values starting from 3, ending at 10, but in steps of 2, right? So I want to take value 3, I want to take value 5, then 7, and then 9. So say we want to display the first 10 numbers. So how are we going to write the loop command? We know we start with for values, and then we do I is equal to 1 underscore 10. 1 slash 10, sorry. So this means I want this loop to run over values of I such that you start from the value 1, you end at the value 10, and it's in steps in 1. Right, this is what this means, minimum slash maximum. You start with the minimum value, you end at the maximum value in steps 1, and then I just want to display I. But whenever you call I, because it's a local, so you need to make sure you enclose it in these special inverted commas, right? Like we can see, we have these special inverted commas. So we have to enclose it in these special inverted commas, which are okay. So let's run this. So see, it has run the loop because what the loop is doing is it's telling Stata that for values I is equal to 1 to 10, display I. So this means that first I is going to take a value 1. So I is 1, then you display 1. And then the loop runs again. I takes a value 2, you display 2. The loop runs again. I takes value 3, you display 3, and you do this until you get 10. Right, so this is how you do it. And over here, one thing to keep in mind is this I is just a local. You can rename it anything. I could name it K2. The only thing is then it has to be consistent. Then whenever you refer to it, you have to refer it by the name that you specify here, right? So you could do this also, the loop will run. Right, so this I could be any name you want. You could name it anything. It just has to be consistent. Then make sure you call the same local then later when you want the loop to run, right? Also, these special inverted commas you can get from the so these special inverted commas are basically present below the escape key. So right, so if I press this and then I can specify I here. So what if we want to display only even numbers from 1 to 10 instead of odd numbers? So we don't want the step size to be 1, right? So in this case, we can use the second form of displaying the sequence first, and then you specify the step size and you specify the last number. So in this case, I want I to start taking values from 2 because of so we want to display even numbers from 1 to 10, and between 1 to 10, the first even number is 2. And then I'll specify, so the first number is the starting value. The number in the brackets over here is going to be the step size, which is going to be 2 because even numbers have a difference of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So and then we'll specify the ending value, which is 10 in this case. And then again, I'm specifying display I, right? So this will do that. So in this way, we can, so this is basically telling Stata that first I takes a value 2, display the value. Then I takes a value 4, display the value. Then 6, then display the value, and this goes on until 10. So in this way, we can run a loop over numbers using the for values loop.